जेवर भी अंतर्राष्ट्रीय मानचित्र पर अंकित हो गया है। इसका बहुत बड़ा लाभ दिल्ली एनसीआर और पश्चिमी यूपी के करोड़ों करोड़ों लोगों को होगा। पहली बार उत्तर प्रदेश को वो मिलना शुरू हुआ है जिसका वो हमेशा से हकदार रहा है।
Hello everyone, you're watching News Epicenter with me, Maria Shakil. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today laid the foundation stone for the Noida International Airport in Jewar. The airport is expected to be completed by September 2024. It will be built over 5,000 hectares of land and will be India's first net zero emissions airport. Speaking at the event, Prime Minister Modi raised the Vikas pitch, saying the airport will be the logistics gateway of northern India and will provide new employment opportunities to thousands of people in the region. He also hit out at the previous state governments and said UP was kept in dark and was underdeveloped because those governments kept self-interest above people's interest. And Uttar Pradesh is now seeing new pace of development and growth under Yogi Adityanath. And it's not just the Jewar airport. BJP is trying to harp on the development plank with Purvanchal Expressway inaugurated just a week ago. And that's not all. Several other infrastructure projects have been unveiled and are in pipeline. But speaking before Prime Minister Modi, UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath had a different story to tell. He brought the Jinnah narrative back by saying that the country has to pick between the sweetness of sugarcane or mischief by followers of Jinnah in the state. Meanwhile, hours before the inauguration, foundation laying ceremony, SP Chief Akhilesh Yadav alleged that the BJP's refusal to his government's proposal to build an airport in Firozabad cost the region a share in glory with Jewar International Airport. So is the BJP trying to strike a balance with Prime Minister Modi talking of development and Yogi Adityanath making that polarization pitch? Will the Jewar airport then help BJP in 2022 polls? To answer these questions, I have with me Guru Prakash, spokesperson of the BJP, Sudhendra Badoria, spokesperson of the BSP, Vandana Singh is a Samajwadi Party leader, Dr. Hilal Ahmed representing the Congress, and Ajit K. Jha is a political expert. Vandana, this airport will ensure the much needed infrastructure push needed in Western UP. Politics aside, shouldn't the SP chief, at least today, who's also the former chief minister, compliment the BJP for this airport? They ensured land acquisition and completed other formalities in record time.
Let me turn this question the other way around. This is an international airport, which is being constructed at Greater Noida, known as Jewar Airport. Was that a professional event, or was it a BJP rally there? Or it was good optics, I must say. This was a BJP event. It wasn't an airport launch. Not a mention of those guys who are working tirelessly for this airport. The CEO, Arun Veer Singh, Zurich Airport head, Mr. Christoph, and their teams, not a word of mention or thanking them. All they talked about was what they're doing for UP, what Akhilesh Yadav did, and what Yogi Adityanath is going to do. No, this is not a professional approach. This was their event management.
Then what about your professional approach?
No.
What did SP chief did today?
Where we are paying, government event where the taxpayers, we are paying for that event. It's not the BJP which is paying for that event. And this was turned into BJP event.
Okay, Guru Prakash, respond to this, that it was the BJP event, and then I'll ask the second question to you.
Maria, I'm
Sorry,
very thankful and in a sense deeply grateful. Maria?
Yes, go ahead, Guru.
Maria, I'm very thankful and deeply grateful because we are seeing a massive shift in the political discourse when it comes to Uttar Pradesh. Samajwadi Party is the same party which we used to remember for लड़के हैं लड़कों से गलती हो जाती है, for promoting vaccine hesitancy. मैं BJP की वैक्सीन नहीं लूंगा. Now Samajwadi Party leaders, Samajwadi Party spokesperson, they are coming on television and they are speaking on issues of infrastructure. Only a couple of days ago, we saw them speaking about Purvanchal Expressway. Today, they are speaking on Jewar International Airport. So, in a way, we are relieved that a shift in the political talking points, a shift in the electoral discourse has finally taken place.
Okay, while you attack the Samajwadi Party, answer my question. What was the need for the Chief Minister to rake up this entire Jinnah controversy?
No, who brought the Jinnah controversy in the electoral discourse, Maria? I want to ask you.
Today the platform was such.
For us, JAM, like the... Maria, let me complete. You ask a question, you give me some time. For us, JAM means Jandhan, Aadhaar and Mobile. For Samajwadi Party, it means Jinnah, Azam Khan and Mukhtar. And it is very obvious who is trying to make an effort to polarize the election. It is the Samajwadi Party. Who brought the Jinnah reference in the electoral discourse? It was the Samajwadi Party. So that is beyond my point. The real issue today that how Jewar International Airport is going to change the entire nature of the region when it comes to infrastructure, connectivity, creating jobs, 35,000 crore, which used to go for MRO, maintenance, repair and overhaul. I did not speak when you were speaking, ma'am. Please don't display the sanskar of Samajwadi Party. I did not speak when you were speaking. So 35,000 crore, 35,000 crore. Again, you are coming. You can come and speak. I don't have this habit of interfering. I don't have this habit of interfering, ma'am. Because it is the Samajwadi sanskar. It is the Samajwadi Party sanskar. Believe in democracy. Believe in democracy. No, it is the Samajwadi sanskar. It is the Samajwadi sanskar. मैं BJP की वैक्सीन नहीं लगूंगा. So please interfere.
Vandana,
please
let
interfere.
him make his
Please don't
point.
interfere
When you
in
were
between,
speaking, he was
Please.
not interrupting you.
Fair enough.
Guru.
So Maria, for civil aviation, we have a vision and we have worked according to that. What was the traffic of domestic passengers in 2014? 7 crore. Today it has crossed 14 crore. And similar goes for international passenger as well. We have a vision, we have imagination and we have a follow-up action plan. So Jewar will fundamentally change the nature of the entire region. It will create job opportunities, create infrastructure, boost regional connectivity
Political
as well.
courtesy, Mr. Bhadoria, demands that for the sake of people of UP, politicians should display that generosity and compliment each other, particularly today. Did you do your part?
Well, as far as the Jewar International Airport is concerned, we welcome, though it's very late. Bahan Mayawati ji, when she was the Chief Minister, she was the one who came forward with the idea that there should be an international airport at Jewar. And she proposed it during the UPA government. But the government of that time turned it down and there was politics in this. It did not take place, and subsequently also the Samajwadi Party, which later on came into power, also did not push this idea of Jewar International Airport till the next, and on the contrary, they said that we will take this to Mathura. They shifted, and because it was Bahan Mayawati ji who had proposed it for Jewar, they shifted it to Mathura, but they did nothing about it, even for Mathura.
Okay.
Now, here at the time of elections, both are trying to focus on development. On the contrary,
Dr.
they are
Hilal
both
Ahmed,
trying to communalize,
the charge
one on
from
Jinnah, the other on
is
Hindu Muslim.
that it is your government, the UPA government, that stalled this project.
Maria, the manner in which Mayawati government was taking the land and acquiring the land, we have seen what has happened and how the people have reacted. So we had no faith on the manner in which Bahujan Samaj Party was trying to harass the farmers and the poor. That's why this project was not taken up by the UPA, and it was very much like
for all of 10 years you did not move this project. Then today don't blame the BJP, right?
It is not the 10 years. It is not the 10 years. Like Bahujan Samaj Party government and our
Akhilesh Yadav
after that gave different reasons at that time.
Ran for 5 years.
They gave Maria Shakil. They gave different reasons at that time, and they are giving wrong. They are making an alibi now.
I think I should be allowed to speak, and I have heard you very patiently.
Yes.
So
Dr.
you should
Hilal
also
Ahmed,
have that
here is
patience.
your
Please
former
go ahead.
ally. The ally that helped you
What?
pass multiple bills during the UPA tenure. So they are leveling that charge. It is not coming from your political opponents or the BJP here.
There is no permanent political opponent or friend. We all know this thing. Just now what BSP spokesperson has said, I have answered it, and I think that is absolutely correct, because the manner in which the whole of Noida was acquired for JP Industries and all, we all know it, and how after that Land Acquisition Act was
So
passed.
are you saying that there was
UK
corruption
government.
during Mayawati's tenure, and that is the reason why the central government did not allow it?
I am saying
those
every
people
kind
who were
of misdeed
responsible
was
for,
there at the time of Bahujan
Commonwealth
Samaj
to
Party.
so many corruptions.
It was not only the
I mean,
corruption,
those,
but
look
it
at
was
them,
the
holier than
high-handedness
thou.
of the Bahujan
Commonwealth
Samaj
game
Party.
corruption, people are talking about corruption. Commonwealth game people who indulge in such huge amount of corruption are talking about corruption.
Okay. Okay, Vandana, the charge
high-handedness
against the
of the Bahujan
Samajwadi
Samaj
Party
Party
coming from the
and the
BSP
manner
is
in which it
that it
was
was
acquiring
Akhilesh
the
Yadav
land.
government who did
That
not
has-
show
that has installed the
sincerity
Jewar
with this airport, instead shifted it to another place. Respond.
Listen, these charges have no meaning today, Maria. We can blame each other. This happened, that happened. If somebody has the will, they can do it. Behan Mayawati could have done it if she really wanted to. So let's not blame each other. We are not here for slugfest. We're talking about the
we
Jewar
proposed
airport.
it in
Coming back to
2011.
the
You came
infrastructure.
to
One
power
minute,
in
let me
2012.
finish.
You moved it to
Then
Mathura. You
you
didn't
start.
do a bit about it
I'm
even in
coming to
Mathura.
Infrastructure.
Okay, BSP and SP on the
BJP
screen now, please.
spokesperson
Yes.
mentioned about the infrastructure. Let me tell you, several BJP MLAs in UP, they were showing a photo of Shri Salam Dam in Andhra, Telangana, and claiming it to be a gift for Bundelkhand by PM. So this is BJP for you. Let's not talk about what they do, what they don't do. They show something which they're not even
Vandana,
doing.
before I get the
So this
BJP
is
to respond
just
to, answer what Mr. Badoria is saying here. He
Yes,
is leveling
what
a
is Mr.
charge.
Badoria's question?
You have fought an election with him. There was BSP-SP alliance in 2019. He is your alliance partner, previous alliance partner. For him to level that charge on your sincerity in infrastructure and development is a serious charge.
Well, look, Mr. Bhadoria can answer it better. Mrs. Mayawati was there before. So if you want to do something, you could do it. She could have done it if she really wanted to. Why blame others? Mr. Bhadoria should answer
The
that.
airport
Why did she
authority
do
was
it?
not
Why
with the
did
state
she-
government.
Why
Madam,
did she not
airport
implement
authority
it?
is not with this
If she
government.
really wanted to
The
do
authority
it,
at
why
the
did she
center had
not
to give all the
implement it, Mr.
clearances.
Bhadoria? Why did she not
We did
implement
not have
it?
the authority to give clearances. It had to come from the center. We
Well,
did not
then
have
you
any
blame the
authority.
center.
We had
Don't
only
blame the
proposed
SP
it.
or
We
other
wanted to
party.
build it. We wanted to acquire land and give it to the government to do
Well,
it, but
then
you
you
did
should
not
have
allow
asked
it
the
because
center. You should
you
ask that
thought
question to the center.
that this will give benefit to the BSP. So therefore you just shelved it.
So
Are you-
the SP shelved this project as a charge coming from the BSP, a similar charge being made by the BJP also on the SP government, the previous SP government. Before I go back to the politicians on the panel, a quick word from the political analyst Ajit K. Jha. Mr. Jha, UP is a deeply fragmented society which votes on caste lines, arithmetic, chemistry, multiple issues at play here. What does these optics do to for in the larger mind space and the for the people of UP when they look at these optics of development coming as they do just few weeks before the model code of conduct will be put in place?
Well, Maria, let me bring the entire debate to a perspective. Uttar Pradesh has been, in a way, the cultural heart of India, right? From Ayodhya to, let's say, Mathura to Varanasi to Deoband to Aligarh and to the Buddhist centers in Kushinagar, all are in UP. But unfortunately, for the last 70 years, Uttar Pradesh has not been, it did not have the economic, it had a political heft. It had at one point 84 members of parliament from Uttar Pradesh, but it was not economically a dynamic state. Now, what is interesting about the last 5 years of Yogi Adityanath, that despite the claims that his rhetoric is cultural or spiritual or religious, I think to a great extent he has brought in this economic dimension. I mean, today Uttar Pradesh boasts of 5 international airports, the largest compared to any state in India. Now, obviously, many of the foundations or the background work was done by previous governments, but the haste with which Yogi ji kind of pursued it, at one time before the entire pandemic hit, the $1 trillion goal. I mean, of course, BJP has an advantage here. The advantage is that it has a national government in Delhi as well as a state government in Lucknow, both with an overwhelming majority. But at the same time, despite the strident note, I mean, you kind of mentioned the use of Jinnah and others bringing in a kind of identity nationalism debate.
Mr. Jha, what about the caste factor here? UP,
let me
Bihar,
make one
these
more
are
point.
states,
Maria,
these are states which vote on caste lines. The caste fault lines are very deep.
Is that question to me
Yes.
or someone else?
To you.
See, caste is not the only basis of voting. Caste, not only UP, Bihar, the whole of the country votes on the basis of caste. But the underlying debate is always that an incumbent, if it does great development, it ends up winning.
Okay,
and
so this is about
which do
hope and
not,
aspiration.
There is a strong
How do you counter
anti-incumbency.
hope and aspiration, a narrative which has been built by the BJP since 2014? It yielded, dividends for them in multiple elections in UP itself, 2014, 2017, 2019, Lok Sabha as well. Going forward, what does it do? How will the Samajwadi Party counter this narrative of hope and aspiration, Vandana? How do you plan to do that? The rainbow coalition that you have built of various caste parties, these are parties which are effective and strong in their respective pockets, but the overarching narrative here which is emerging is about hope, aspiration, strong leadership. How will the Samajwadi Party counter that?
Maria, where is the hope? What hope? Uttar Pradesh is the biggest state where the young people live. 70% of the population is young. They don't have jobs. What happened during pandemic we have seen. So let's not talk about hope. People are hopeless at the moment. Okay. And I want to make one last point here. I hope, like other airports, this airport also doesn't go to Mr. Adani, because this is built by our tax money. All the airports, 6 airports were given to Mr. Adani. Kushinagar, which has just been inaugurated, that's also up for grab. And this money comes from us taxpayers, you and me.
Vandana, you have not answered my question. My question is, when it is about building a narrative in an election, what is Samajwadi Party's plan?
Just a minute, Maria Shakil. The Samajwadi government gave 5,000 acres of land to the Ambanis to build a power project in Noida at pittance. Don't talk about others. Please just introspect. Why did you give so much land to the Ambanis, to Anil Ambani during the regime of Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav? Please clarify.
Guru Prakash,
I am
let's get
talking
into
that
specifics
when you
here.
are in power,
How many
you give all the
jobs
land
has
at
the
1
Yogi
rupee,
government generated
2
in the last
rupees
5 years?
per acre.
If it is about
Mr.
jobs,
Ambani.
then what exactly have you done on that front? One moment,
We're
please.
discussing
Yes.
Jewar Airport. We're not discussing power
Maria,
project.
Maria, I
The
can speak,
Samajwadi
but I
Party
don't want to be
is
a
in this
participant to the shouting match.
Yes.
Maria, yeah, thank you so much. On the front of jobs and how do we define hope and what represents hope in Uttar Pradesh today? In the last 4 years, the government jobs that has been given by Yogi Adityanath government is in tune of 4 lakh. In the 5 years of Samajwadi Party, it was only 2.5 lakhs. Come to one district, one product. More than 25 lakh jobs. through self-help group, more than 1 crore women are now part of the organized network. You are also talking about aspiration. If you ally with Suhail Dev Bharatiya Samaj Party, Mr. Rajbhar, I want to ask, although the spokesperson is not here, who created a monument in the name of Mr. Suhail Dev Pasi? It was the Bharatiya Janata Party. So aspiration as hope is when you give opportunities, when you give representation. The largest number of scheduled caste and scheduled tribe MLAs and MPs are coming from the BJP and the Bharatiya Janata Party from the Uttar Pradesh. So everywhere you see we have given, in terms of organization, in terms of the Council of Ministers as well, the largest number of contingent from Dalits are from the Bharatiya Janata Party, not even from Bahujan Samaj Party, not even from Samajwadi Party.
Mr. Bhadoria, respond
the
to
hope
this.
and the narrative is of representation.
Well, you see both the Samajwadi Party and the Bharatiya Janata Party are trying to hijack the good work of development done, whether it was the Ganga Expressway, whether it's the Jewar International Airport or the Metro of Lucknow. All these were done during the times of Bahan Mayawati ji. They have only one thing, Mullah Mulayam, Jinnah, and these people also try and Hindu-Muslim divide. And that is why the lynching takes place in Dadri during the regime of the BJP. It is the Bahujan Samaj Party which can give a regime which is free from communalism, from criminalization and corruption, and therefore this is what Uttar Pradesh wants, and this is how Uttar Pradesh can move forward. And in 2022 we are hopeful to do very well this time.
Guru Prakash, 30 seconds to you, and then I'll go to the other two spokespersons.
My best wishes are with Mr. Sudhindra Bhadoria, but I want to just make a clarification that the people of Uttar Pradesh, and that has been the biggest travesty with the people of Uttar Pradesh, that no one has ever spoken on behalf of more than 23 crore people of Uttar Pradesh. Someone was speaking on behalf of one region, Manpuri Saifai. Someone was speaking on behalf of one family, Samajwadi Party. Someone was speaking on behalf of one caste, one community. For the first time in the history of politics of Uttar Pradesh, we are seeing a party, we are seeing a narrative that is inclusive, comprehensive.
Vandana, the tweet by SP chief was about why is this airport coming up in Jewar, why not in another district? We have seen that in all those 5 years of Akhilesh Yadav's tenure, one charge that had come from your political opponents was that Manpuri and Etawah were those oases of development. Besides that, largely in UP there was no development. Right now, Jewar is not really a pocket borough or a bastion of Yogi Adityanath. He is from Gorakhpur, but he is looking at even Jewar in western UP. Shouldn't that be welcomed?
Tell me, that Lucknow-Agra Expressway doesn't start from Manpuri, does it? So you can't say that Akhilesh Yadav was only looking at developments in Manpuri. Entire Uttar Pradesh had benefited from his vision. So that's a false blame, point number one. And why are we drifting away from the topic of Jewar Airport?
No. I'm not drifting away. This is what Akhilesh Yadav himself tweeted today.
Fine, but I'm just saying that all the development during his tenure which was done, it wasn't done only at Manpuri, Etawah. It was done in other parts of Uttar Pradesh. And talking about caste and community.
Then what was the need for that whataboutery in that tweet? All right, Vandana Singh, thank you so much for joining us. Dr. Hilal Ahmed, Ajit Jha, Sudhindra Bhadoria and Guru Prakash. Of course, a discussion that will be continuing because as we know that there are several other projects that will be unveiled by Prime Minister Modi when he travels to UP in the next few days and weeks. That's all from me. Thanks for watching.